I have a question for you. How would you describe your relationship to the inner critic? How do you think your clients would describe their relationship to the inner critic? Does the inner critic sound like the voice of authority? Does it feel like it's necessary, like a guardrail to prevent unacceptable behavior? Does it feel real and like it knows the truth?
It is a voice that we have in our structure. It's pretty normal, pretty human, and its intention is to keep us in this container of what is okay to be. And so when it experiences anything that's a violation of what its rules are, it will show up. And sometimes it's obvious, like, I should have been more thoughtful, or I should not have made that mistake, or I shouldn't feel angry. Sometimes it's obvious in ways that are more physical or emotional, like a stab to the heart when you feel this just sadness or despair, or a wash of nausea and shame in my gut. It also operates, however, on many different levels, sometimes not so clear, like just a whisper, like you can't even discern it, it's just something you have to do. Like, for example, if you get your sense of value from how much you do in the world, you just have to keep pushing and doing, even though you might be hurting yourself. That whisper voice is just not even discernible initially. One of my current favorites is to have the inner critic tell me that I should not have an inner critic. I call that inner critic squared. It's that I want to be polished and look really cool, like have my act together, so I should not have an inner critic. You know what? Beating myself up for beating myself up doesn't seem to work.
Every one of us, including our clients, have an inner critic. And when it's activated, it can immobilize our efforts in taking the next step in a new direction, and thus leaving us feeling incompetent or just not enough. While conversely, it can insist that we do better tomorrow and reach higher than we did today, even if today went really well. I would guess that most of your clients are coming to you because they're looking for some kind of a positive change in their lives. And you can be sure that the inner critic will be accompanying them. The internal 24/7 activity of the inner critic can continue nonstop unless we've learned to recognize it for what it is and then take the next step. And that next step is changing our relationship to it. And that's the key. And it's possible to do this, change our relationship, disengage from what feels like this powerful force and the false authority it has assumed in life.
When you really feel into it, explore it, separate yourself a little bit from it, you can see it for what it is, an old voice, a voice that was trying to keep you safe and in control, but no longer serves you, doesn't allow you to experience the whole of your possibilities and the whole of your humanity.
Join my colleague Marcia, Hyatt, and me in Deep Living Labs, July 11th, Pause and Discern session, as we recognize the power of experiencing compassionate truth.